Trump. Did Donald Trump, first of all, are you supportive of Donald Trump?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay. Did he input any systematic things that set black people back when he was in office?
Nah, not at all. Not in the least bit. People will say things like that to me, but I'm like, okay, point it out. Tell me the thing that he put in policy that held us back. And in reality, Trump was an honorary black person until 2015 when he came down the escalator with Melania. He was an honorary black person. Look, I don't know if you remember G Unit Radio.
Yeah.
He was on G Unit Radio with Yayo, not even 50, in studio. Like how we talking right now, he was in there with Yayo, no 50 around.
Wow.
So it's like, come on. And then, of course, he was in Fresh Prince. He was in all these rap songs as lyrics. Bill Gates, Donald Trump, let me in now. But like Donald Trump, like he was an honorary black person. We all loved him. And then once he became quote unquote Republican, now he's a racist. But then when you say, hey, what did he do? They grasp him for straws.
And that's what I look for, because I'm cool with people not liking me, right? And let's just say, I'm speaking in my own words now, let's just say that he is racist. If you don't have policies that set us back, you just don't like me.
That's it. That's all.
Which I'm cool with.
Right, that's fine. But then don't make up stuff and say, I set you back. It's like, no, you just don't like me, and that's okay. But just say that.
I dig it. Is he going to win next go around?
I think he's going to win because I think people voted for Biden because they were afraid of Trump coming in again. But now that we see what Biden is doing and some of these failed promises, like one of the main things with the student loans, and now you're trying to bring it back, talking about, hey, check it out. I know I didn't follow through the first time with the student loan thing, but vote for me again, and I promise I'm going to do it. So people already see that he's not really what he could have been.
Yeah.
So let's go back to Trump and get him back in office, because people remember when Trump was in office, things were better. Aside from the pandemic, but the whole world was impacted by the pandemic. I don't think it was really fair to blame that on Trump because every country in the world was affected. But aside from that, we know that it was better under him than Biden.
What has Biden done to push our race forward?
To push it forward?
To push it forward.
Oh man, I have nothing, man. I'm drawing a blank. I don't see things. I know some things done to push us backward.
What's that?
The illegal immigration. That's the main thing, because when he came into office, he signed executive orders to loosen the border patrol and their impact. And then also the wall was being built at this time by Trump. There was materials down there getting ready to be constructed. And then Biden said, okay, sell all that. Stop the construction and sell the materials. And then just let the border be wide open. And then when the border's wide open, where are they going to come? They're going to come to the black community.
Yeah. Okay.
And then they say, oh, well, they do jobs that you don't want to do. Really? Is that true? Well, I saw in New York City where they were stomping out police officers, doing gang robberies in houses all over the country. Like they stomped the police officers out, got out, no bail, and then they fled to Arizona and had to go on the manhunt. So things like that have definitely set us back because of the economics. There was a study that came out from the congressional, it's like a congressional Republican committee.
Okay.
From summertime of 2022 up until right around right now, migrants have cost us $450 billion with a B, $450 billion. So when they say, oh, they do jobs you don't want to do, really? We spent $500 billion on them. We getting crime, violence, disease, drugs, everything. How are they helping? They hurting.
Yeah, that's you can't argue that. When have us as black people done our best as a race in this country?
In the 1900s, I say like Reconstruction up until civil rights. That was our time. People can talk about like 1920, 30, 40, 50, 60. People can talk about racism. Okay, you're always going to have racism. You're not going to really be able to get beyond that. But aside from all of that, how are we doing? In spite of all of that, even with all of that, how are we doing as a people? One thing people point to is Black Wall Street, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Okay, it get bombed, it get burned down. It was actually rebuilt 5 years later, and it lasted up until integration. They don't talk about that part. They talk about just the destruction and say, oh, well, we can't have anything. Yes, we can. We built that back 5 years later, and it lasted for 40 more years until we abandoned it because, okay, let's go to the white man's store instead. That's what we did.
When have we been at our worst?
Slavery.
After slavery.
After slavery, 1980s, crack.
Wow.
Yeah, that was the worst. I remember that. Like, I remember that time. My uncle, my dad's oldest brother, died at age 36. He had HIV. And he was using intravenous heroin and also selling drugs. And then just the violence, man. You're talking about things going on